You guys remember your first drink? I was 17 at the time in Shanghai, right in the big city. You could see the Pearl Tower and everything. Me and some friends who were also 17 were on a quest to do what was ironically not allowed in our home country of America. So how does a 17-year-old express that teenage rebellion, that angsty desire to do prohibited things? Well, we went to Hooters. I know. All the comments are going to be roasting me about this, but hey, I was a stupid 17-year-old. If it's any consolation, that was the only time I've been in a Hooters. Although I gotta admit, those burgers look kinda good. Anyways, I got a Tsingtao beer with some friends and initially didn't like it. I drank like 6 sips at most. But that drink was due to teenage rebellion. When you get older, why do you drink? I guess there's a social element to it, you know? You go out to the bar with your friends, meet new people. In undergrad, there's not so much the idea of a college party, in the sense that they're very diverse in scale and theme. But a common element was the booze. But reflecting on it, you don't have to drink to socialize even if you go to a place with a lot of booze. I went to a bar one night, just got a seltzer water, and was chatting up a complete stranger. So if it's not a social reason, then why do we drink? To help answer this question, and to answer the further question of if one might not drink, let's ask our old pal Friedrich Nietzsche. Nietzsche didn't love pina coladas, or getting caught in the rain. And I don't know if he's into yoga, but he eventually completely cut himself off from alcohol. Here he is in his book Ecce Homo. Later, around the middle of life, to be sure, I decided more and more strictly against all spirits. I, an opponent of vegetarianism from experience, just like Richard Wagner, who converted me, cannot advise all more spiritual natures earnestly enough to abstain entirely from alcohol. Water is sufficient. I think this passage is interesting in its use of the word spirits. When we think of spirits, we think obviously of booze, but we can also think of the spiritual, perhaps also of the religious. In fact, Nietzsche goes right ahead and closely compares the two in his other book, Twilight of the Idols. Two great European narcotics, alcohol and Christianity. Perhaps this comparison can give us a little insight into Nietzsche's disdain for alcohol, and maybe it'll influence your thoughts on drinking. So in order to understand Nietzsche's thoughts on alcohol, it'd be helpful to think of Nietzsche's thoughts on Christianity in the same sense. Christianity to Nietzsche filled a void in our lives, a void of identity, of meaning, of existence. When one asks who you are, what's your purpose in life, one might answer, well, I'm a child of God, a creation of His, and my purpose is to obey and love Him, and to experience this great gift of life He gave me. Now I know I'm oversimplifying here. The book of Ecclesiastes may have something to say about this interpretation. But regardless, one should ask, what happens when you take God out of this equation? Now you gotta figure this stuff out for yourself. Who you are, what your purpose is. Now for Nietzsche, this is a great freedom. This means you could finally start creating and reevaluating your own values. But this is also a pretty big burden. A burden that can be numbed by taking that leap of faith to God. So Christianity is kinda numbing in this sense. And hey, hopefully you start seeing the connection to alcohol. Alcohol numbs. Not only physically, not only emotionally, but also in regards to the self. Now physical and emotional numbing is obvious. You know, your partner breaks up with you, you drink to get past it. But what's interesting to me is the numbing of the self. A common view is that alcohol actually leads you to express yourself more. You know, you drink, then you start going on rants about aliens, or you make a dumb decision to text your ex. Or maybe you just need a little liquid courage to go talk to that attractive person at the bar over there. But what if we viewed the self not so much as our desires, subconscious and subconscious, but also our inhibitions away from those desires? Our anxiety, our social shyness, why are these not elements of the self? Alcohol numbs that part of ourselves in order to make expressions of other aspects of ourselves more comfortable to us. Now one might say, what's the big deal? Yeah, when I see Chiara Advani across the room and I'm too shy to talk to her, I want to numb that anxiety part of me to get the courage to talk to her. It's called being practical. How about you and your channel Leave Me Alone? You're pretty much a dollar store version of Sisyphus 55 anyways. Well, what's wrong with drinking to numb that anxiety or emotional pain as well is that it doesn't address the problem. It doesn't embrace the problem. It just numbs it. Maybe, just maybe, instead of drinking every time you see someone attractive, you work on yourself to control that anxiety. I mean, you want to talk practicality. What happens when we meet someone outside of an alcohol setting? You can't rely on alcohol then to numb your anxiety. And the same applies to those moments of emotional pain where you just want to numb it. We were together for 3 years, bro, and she just walked out on me after falling in love with eternalized Philosophize's super calming voice. Well, what is alcohol gonna do to actually fix your problems once the buzz dies? Why not embrace the problem head on? Okay, you're single now. Did you do something wrong in the relationship? If so, can you improve on it? Maybe we should look at this as an opportunity to meet new people for you. Put down that bottle of Bombay and let's go meet some people. Well, hopefully you found some value out of this video. If you did, hit the subscribe, like, and bell button. If you did not get any value out of this video, then there are no hard feelings whatsoever if you decide to also hit the subscribe, like, and bell button. Comment below your favorite mixed drink and... I'm just kidding. You know what? Comment below your favorite soft drink. I've always been a big fan of this specific brand of root beer called Dang Root Beer, and I'm also a fan of this lychee flavored ramune. Anyways, have a good, no, beautiful rest of your day. And don't text your ex regardless of how many shots you just took.